broadcasting?
Madam Chair, you are all set and ready to go.
Great, thank you. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Human and Community Services Committee. My name is Deb Poland. I'm the chair of this committee. We also have Mayor Cantor, council members Barry Walters and Tiffany McGinnis, and we have town manager Rick Ledwith, and we have Laura Ermshire and Helen Rubino Turco. Welcome, and we have Jerida as well. We will move to the first item of business, which is approval of the minutes from October 21st. Seeking a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Thank you. Without objection, the minutes are approved. We'll move on to item 2B, the 2025 resolution for proposed fees for golf. And I'll turn this over to Mr. Town Manager first.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and good evening, everyone. Great to see everyone. Our Director of Leisure and Social Services will discuss a resolution to adjust the fees for our golf course. You'll recall that they were last adjusted previous to the current season that we are in. These new fees would go into effect for the upcoming golf season, which would start, hopefully in March. This proposed resolution does follow a thorough review of the operational costs affecting our courses. And as we all know, Rockledge and Buena Vista are really cherished assets here in town. And maintaining a first-class golf facility does require resources. So as we continue to face rising costs in areas of maintenance and equipment and staffing, expenses that are essential to ensuring a great experience for our golfers. At the same time, Helen and her team have been studying fee structures of neighboring courses around the region and found that a modest fee adjustment would allow us to continue to remain competitive with golf courses around us. So through you, Madam Chair, I will turn things over to our director, Helen Rubino Turco, and give a summary of this resolution.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. The fees at Rockledge and Buena Vista, as the town manager explained, we do review these every year. Last year, we did not increase the greens fees at Rockledge or Buena Vista. We only raised the fees for the season passes. So we haven't raised green fees in 2 years, and we are proposing to go up $2. This might seem like a big jump, but when we look at our competitors or our peer golf courses in the region, even with this increase, we are at or below what those courses are charging this year, and it's likely that they go up every year as well. So we do feel that a $2 increase is warranted for our greens fees, and with increases also to our season passes. We really pay attention to when people play, we keep statistics, whether they're a resident or non-resident, even though they pay the same fee, we still keep track of that just so that we're aware of the volume of use. And we also keep track of this regular adult passes as well as the senior rates. And so we track all of that and make the recommendations that you can see. I also provided some other explanation. I'm willing to go into additional explanation as needed. But if we just go through the draft resolution, you can see that the proposed rates are for the greens fees for the 18 holes are really between 4.5% to 6.25%. So not too dramatic. And the rates for the 9 holes go up between 7.6% and 11%. When we jump down to the golf passes, and these golf passes are only for residents, so it is a perk for a resident to be able to get these discount season passes, if you will. So we're going up in the full privilege is 6.4%, and in the senior and the partial privileges between 11.7% and 15%. And that's very much in keeping with our peer communities. The non-resident rates for passes, we do provide a non-resident rate for those passes, but the resident rate is at a substantial discount. They also go up in modest ways. We get very few season pass purchases from non-residents. I think we got 4 altogether this past season, so it's pretty negligible. And of course, there are corresponding increases in the discount passes as well, because the rates, the greens fees went up. I can pause now to answer questions about Rockledge, or I can just quickly review the Buena Vista rates as well.
Let's go through Buena Vista, if that's okay, and then we'll go
Sure.
into any questions. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yes, so we're going up $1 here across the board and $15 for all of the season passes. It's, again, these are all between 3.3% and 7%, if you're 7.5% if you're doing all the math. So again, these are very much in keeping with what we see in the region. Buena Vista has become really very popular. We get between around 14,000 rounds of golf are played there every year. And at Rockledge, we get about 40,000 rounds per year. And I think we've already topped that this year. We had an excellent fall, so we finished up very strong. We're at least at 41,000 rounds of golf at Rockledge so far, and the season hasn't closed. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Great, thank you. Councilman Walters, do you have any questions?
I do. Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. I just, my usual question is it enough to cover? And I know that we want to keep things as affordable as possible, but I also want to make sure that, you know, I'm not going to say that we're being the least expensive to be the least expensive, but I want to make sure that we are where we should be, and yeah.
Thank you, Councilman Walters. I believe that we are approaching this in a fiscally sound way, as well as an operationally sound way. I think we do compare, as I said, we do compare ourselves to Timberland, Stanley, Simsbury, Keeney, Hunter, as well as some of the other courses that are not municipal courses, but that are open to the public, which charge more, but we're very comparable to them in terms of quality. So we do feel that with these changes, with these increases, we would generate an additional more than 100,000. We're thinking 111,000 in the leisure services account. These operate in the leisure services fund, which is intended to cover costs. And we do feel that this would, based on the usage of 2024, that this would net us, would generate an additional $111,000. I do appreciate your question. We do look at the whole package of when you arrive at the golf course at Rockledge, for example, to when you leave. And we're not quite we're not quite there yet. We're still working on the driving range. You know, so we do have the whole package to consider, and we don't want to cause anyone to hesitate to come to Rockledge if the price is too high. So we do try to balance, as I said, the whole experience.
Right. And I wouldn't suggest like a huge, I would never come back and say, why isn't it $10 more? But, I'm just thinking $1 or $2. I don't know. I want to make sure that we're in the right range. And it sounds like,
Yep.
you've done some checking, and I still wonder if we could go up another $1, but that's me personally.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. Anyone else have questions? If not, thank you. We will, I guess, move this forward to full town council approval. Is that the next step?
Yes, Madam Chair, it would come up probably in the next council meeting. We'll look at the overall agenda for that meeting. If it's not that one, then it would be the first meeting in January. But these would go into effect this spring.
Great, thank you. All right, let's move on. We're going to still talk about golf. So let's move on to item 2C.
So I'll let Helen take this one as well. It's a second resolution will allow us to appropriate CF Moreway Trust funds to purchase golf carts for our Buena Vista golf course. As Helen articulated just a few moments ago, the Buena Vista golf course has had an outstanding year with 14,000 rounds this year. With that came several requests from golfers for golf carts. So the gas powered golf carts that they would use to get around the 9 holes. And this would allow us to put 4 carts, I believe, over at Buena Vista. So through you, Madam Chair, I'll let Helen explain that in a little more detail.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Yes, we currently lease golf carts at Rockledge, and we bring some over to Buena Vista to use. But Rockledge has also had such tremendous use this year that sometimes, especially in the fall when they're having tournaments or leagues coming in, they need to have all carts at Rockledge to answer that demand. And so it does leave us a little bit short at Buena Vista. And we want to really be cognizant of the requests that we've gotten from, especially from our senior citizens who love playing at Rockledge, and we want them to keep playing at Rockledge. They have made requests for more golf carts to be available for rental. And so we have been looking for at least a year for reasonably priced, gently used golf carts. And we finally found some that were coming off lease from in another municipality. And so we were able to appropriate some funding from the Moreway Trust, which is, we are the beneficiary of this trust that allows us to pull from the interest from the trust's investments for projects that are related to recreation. And this sometimes is used for capital purchases like this. Sometimes it's for maintenance equipment that we just can't seem to, find the funding for, or we're in a pinch. So we feel this is a wonderful use of the Moreway Trust funds. It keeps people recreating and gives them the tools that they need to be able to enjoy be able to enjoy Buena Vista.
Great, thank you. Anybody have any questions on this one? All right, sounds like a good use of the trust fund. Be beneficial for folks at Buena Vista. So we will send this one along to the town council for consideration as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any communications, Mr. Manager?
Nothing this evening, Madam Chair.
All right, we'll go to staff reports, and Helen, we're back to you.
Very good, thank you. We have some exciting news at Westmore Park. We have set up a donations page so we can now make it easier for people to make electronic donations to Westmore Park. And we received our very first one. On the second day of this being up and available, someone made a donation. And so we're really excited about that. And we're actually looking at expanding this to the Leisure Services page to help support our scholarship fund. So it's an interesting new ability to make these donations. Celebrate West Hartford has already done this, as well as the Town That Cares. So it wasn't too difficult for our finance department to get it set up. So that's exciting. We continue to work with GWWO, our architecture firm that is still in the schematic design phase at the new community center. And Laura and I and a team of other staff members have been meeting with them on a regular basis to review plans, but also different needs that they have, whether it's survey work or HVAC plans or energy efficiency ideas. So they've been very busy. And we hope to have something to advance to the next stage with them in the next month or so. I also wanted to report that our tree canopy and tree inventory study is nearly done. There are two parts. The tree canopy study is nearly done and they're working on their report. It should be ready for you in January. We hope to review it before Christmas and make some additional, give some additional input. For example, we've had some very nice conversations with the forester at the MDC. And we're not including them in our tree canopy study because obviously it's private land, but we are able to incorporate the information that they have about the diversity of species, about how they maintain them, and what that forest, because it really is a forest, looks like, as opposed to our canopy, which is very much a urban, suburban forest. The inventory part is just getting to the boots on the ground, getting our hands dirty. We have we hired Plan IT Geo to do these projects, and we contracted with them to do 2,200 stems. So they've identified 2,200 species of trees in West Hartford. Surprisingly, there's quite a few elms that has survived the blight, not just the 1 or 2 or 3 that we knew about, but so that's pretty exciting. But now it's our volunteers and staff that take on the rest of it. So we will be continuing to identify trees even though it's winter. We're going to be hosting a winter tree identification class at Westmore Park for members of the Tree Action Group and some other volunteers that will be helping us with tree identification and plotting them actually on the software that we've subscribed to. And we hope to have a lot of information done by Earth Day or Arbor Day, both of which are in April. And then we'll really push it out to the community and see about getting neighbors to provide information so that we can have a demonstration at Celebrate West Hartford about here's that you can look at all of the trees that have been identified, and then hopefully people will want to include their own property, the information of the trees in their own property into our tree inventory. So we're working with Public Works, who can do all of our right-of-ways because they're driving around and they know all that stuff anyway. But we'll also be having volunteers and staff in our parks and other locations to identify trees. We have many capital projects going on. I think the one that most people are most interested in is the Rockledge driving range. We're still getting lots of questions about how come you're not done yet. But we do have to do some soil amendment, some soil work needs to be done. So we're still waiting for that project to get out to bid. It's been with engineers for a couple of few weeks now, and we're waiting to get that out. But the Walcott restroom building is nearly wrapped up. They do plan to have that finished by the end of December. And so it'll be turned on in the spring with brand new restrooms, all ADA compliant, single use only, gender neutral restrooms. So we're pretty excited about that. And other projects that are going on include the Eisenhower Pool, which as we reported last month, because of some major remediation that needs to happen, we are going to delay. We're going to use the existing pool for this coming summer and then start the actual pool construction in August. Other capital improvements include the basketball courts at Eisenhower Park are going to be replaced with post-tension concrete basketball courts. This is part of our ongoing effort to renovate courts, not to basketball courts and tennis courts with this new technology. Newer technology. It's been around a while, but we are seeing great results with it because it lasts much longer and it protects the courts from frost heaves and cracking. So it really is keeps them safer and they last longer. So we'll see that at Eisenhower. And also my colleagues in Public Works and I are working together on Sedgwick baseball field, softball dugouts, and the Beachland soccer improvements. Those are all underway. I'm happy to pause here or continue with a quick social services update.
I think let's continue, and we all have the written report as well. So
Yep.
Feel free to just mention a couple of the highlights.
Sure.
Thank you.
The major highlight for social services is that we are continuing to work on our 5-year consolidated plan. We had an open house in October, and then we had 2 workshops in Town Hall a few weeks ago, and with a lot of participation by different community groups, nonprofits that we collaborate with, different stakeholders, as well as staff from police, fire, health, building, Corporation Counsel's office, the library. These were all really great conversations to have about how best to address the needs of our low and moderate income neighbors with this funding. And we also have just wanted to point out that we've slightly changed the way we're handling our holiday programs. And it goes hand in hand with the way we shifted doing the back to school programs. So we're now partnering with schools and providing them with gift cards to distribute as they see the highest needs. And instead of giving out gift cards and with people through the food pantry, or having them coming into Town Hall to register and get them. And we're also partnering with the fire department. I'm pretty sure it's the fire department.
Just a quick question. We're giving out the gift cards to families through schools. What about folks who are not families? Who might need assistance?
Yep. We do provide an opportunity for them to come in and get them from us directly here in Town Hall, so they can definitely, if you do not have a school-age child, or your child might go to a CREC school or out of district or private school, you can, and you still qualify, you can just call social services and they will take care of you. And we're partnering with other groups to handle the holiday gifts and all that. So again, we are the beneficiary of many generous people in our community. We really appreciate it, especially through the Thanksgiving time now and coming into the holidays. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions? I also, I did note in the report that we do not yet have an energy assistance worker from community renewal team. Do we have an estimated time for that, or are there struggling with hiring at this point?
They are, I believe they are struggling to hire someone. So you're correct. We do not yet have one placed. CRT is reporting that they are seeing more than 10,000 applications as of mid-November, which is a much higher number than this time last year. So we do know the need is out there, but there are other programs as well. So people shouldn't hesitate to call Town Hall and talk to our social services department, because we can also connect them potentially with other programs that we're aware of.
Great, thank you. I don't have any additional questions. Councilor Walters or Mayor Cantor, Councilor McGinnis? All right, thank you for that report. And we'll move on to the library update and turn it over to Laura.
Good evening, thank you. I'm happy to share with you what's going on at the library this late fall. We are entering our Make and Give celebration. We are spending November and December hosting programs for people who want to make handmade gifts for family, friends, and the community. We've been finding more and more people enjoying programs like this where they can have a hands-on activity and also spend time connecting with other people. These programs are for all ages. We have some focused for kids, some for adults, and some where all are welcome. We also have them in the library, and we have a take-home craft. So we're trying to meet people wherever they are. And some examples of the programs: last week, we made blankets for West Hartford Animal Control to provide comfort for adopted pets when they transition from their shelter to their forever home. And looking at those pictures makes me cry because I love pets. We also have some upcoming programs that are hands-on activities in our makerspace. We're making perler bead holiday keychains, custom mugs, ceramic ornaments, and more. So we invite anyone to check out our events calendar or stop in the library and see what's going on. We have a new exhibit in our gallery at the Noah Webster Library. The exhibit is titled Scapes, and it invites visitors to think about all kinds of scapes: landscapes, seascapes, cityscapes, playscapes, and even escapes. Artist Bethany Blake explores layered digital images of environments, then switches to analog to paint the final faceted iteration. This is our first show, curated by Joe Bunchio, and it's funded by the Thomas F. Kilfoyle Memorial Bequest to the West Hartford Library Foundation. We have some events coming up the first week of December. On December 3rd, we're celebrating the unveiling of the new mural in the Noah Webster Library Teen Room. The mural was painted by students in the Creative Leadership Program at Rise Up for Art Studio in Hartford. They worked on it over the summer. And at our reception, you'll hear speeches from the muralists, listen to live music, and enjoy light refreshments as we appreciate this team-led community art installation. The mural was funded by the West Hartford Library Foundation, the West Hartford Prevention Council, and Amplify. And then 4th, we're hosting a legislative meet and greet. This is one of several legislative events at the library, at libraries across Connecticut. It's organized by the Connecticut Library Association. This is a networking opportunity for legislators, librarians, and community members to connect. There will be a brief overview of the work libraries are doing across the state and librarians' priorities for the upcoming legislative session. I wanted to provide you an update on an elevator issue we've been having for the last several months here at Noah Webster. You may be aware that the elevator that goes from our lower level up to the mezzanine is out of order, and it has been for several months. The reason for this is a part that was needed to fix the broken door mechanism had to be fabricated, and the company making the part experienced supply chain issues when sourcing the material to make the part. And our most recent estimate is for the part to ship in mid-December and be installed after that. This, unfortunately, is the only elevator that goes up to our mezzanine level where our boardroom is. It's in our entire fiction collection and some of the nonfiction collection. So this is a significant impact to our patrons. I'd like to commend my staff who are doing a great job in continuing to provide service to patrons. They're retrieving materials and making scheduling accommodations for any programs or meetings that we had normally booked up there. And I am hopeful there won't be any further delays and the elevator will be working again before the end of the year. And finally, I wanted to tell you about a few partnerships that have been in the works for a while and we've finally been able to launch recently. The first one is with, we're collaborating with an organization called More Than a Phone. We're collecting old phones that are then distributed to domestic abuse survivors. More Than a Phone works with local nonprofits to distribute phones to survivors in need to keep them connected and safe. For anyone who wishes to donate a phone to the organization, they can bring them to any of our library locations. When you're there, we have directions for erasing the data and passcode from your phone, and then we pass it on to More Than a Phone, who then packages it and distributes it to their nonprofit partners. We also began collaborating with an organization called Dignity Grows to offer dignity totes. These are reusable shoulder bags that contain a full month's supply of hygiene products. We have these out on racks. Patrons can simply take a tote. There's no need to interact with staff, and we will work with Dignity Grows to replenish the totes as needed. We have them in all 3 library locations, and we're really grateful to Dignity Grows to partner with us because they're providing all of these materials. We are just providing the space and the knowledge that they are there for people who need them. And that concludes my report. We have a lot of staff excited for the holidays and working on our programs and getting ready for the new year. So if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like any more information on, I'd be happy to share that with you.
Thank you. Councilor Walters, any questions? And Mayor Cantor or Councilor McGinnis? I just have one question, which is, I know that we do Sunday hours starting up in the spring. Can you just give us a little update on when those will be?
Yes, they are starting the February after President's Day. It's the 20-something-ish. And they're running through the first week of May. Don't know if I'll be able to pull up my calendar for the exact
No, that's
date, but
fine.
it's the first Sunday after President's Day.
So sometime mid-February through May, then we'll have the Sunday hours just at Noah Webster, right?
Yes, that's right. And it's from 1 to 5.
Great, thank you. That was my question. No other questions? All right, thank you. Are there any requests for future agenda items? All right. Then without objection, we will adjourn at 6:34 p.m. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Take care.